Morning guys, it's Vlogmas day 21. It's the winter solstice and I totally forgot to finish yesterday's vlog, so I might tack it on this one or I might consider it a day off. But I'm gonna make coffee and watch vlogs real quick because my favorite YouTuber uploaded a vlog. I'm using my bat mug today. I love this bat mug so much. It's so cute. Bubby! I'm gonna get you. 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 I'm gonna get your butt. I'm gonna get your butt. I'm gonna get your butt. I'm gonna get your butt.
Nope, that's it.
I've just spent the morning reflecting upon my year, 2017, because every single year I like to spend some extra time towards the end of the year and in the beginning of the year, towards the end of the year reflecting upon the past year, and then also kind of planning for my year ahead, and then at the beginning of the year kind of doing that again. So I've just reflected on the year and I've done so much that I'm proud of this year, and that feels really good to me. So I thought I would share some of them. I wrote like 4 pages with this pen. It's one of the what are these called? Fountain pens. It's pretty small writing. But I picked out some of them that aren't like super personal, because there's some like more personal stuff in there too, but like I thought I would share some of the major ones that I did this year, and I totally encourage you guys to do this too. Just sit in a room by yourself or something and kind of get quiet and just think about your year. If you've had a calendar for your entire year like me, I'm sure a lot of you haven't, especially if you're younger. I never kept calendars when I was younger, but if you're like older like me, and there's a dog out there howling, and you're like organized like me, then and you've written stuff down, I kind of just went through my calendar and reminded myself of like, oh, I did that, and then it kind of sparked memories. So I wrote all of those down. So here's some stuff that like I'm either proud of or just like really happy that I did, or just like can't believe that happened. And, it's just some cool stuff. So I think this will be the bulk of the video today of Vlogmas day 21, because this is basically what I'm doing today. So I started belly dancing. That was cool. In October I started. Totally do not regret that. I dreamt up a product I want to create one day. I picked up acrylic painting for the first time and have painted 9 pieces in 3 months. That to me is like really unbelievable. Like if you had told me 6 months ago that I'd be painting, and I don't know, I would have been like, okay, alrighty. I went fishing in a boat on the ocean with my dad. I spoke in front of an elementary school classroom about the importance of asking questions and finding answers on your own. That is something I never thought I would do. It just kind of stumbled into my life and I did it. I thought that was cool. I went to Tacoma and Seattle with my mom. That's when she broke her, or fractured her humerus, but still, I knew I wanted to go to Seattle and Tacoma this year, and I did. I was invited to attend the National Indian Gaming Association with members of my tribal council, and I got to sit at the same table, shake hands, and have conversations with some amazing people doing great things in Indian country. That was so cool. Like, I can't even tell you guys, like, all the amazing people I met, and like being in the same room as them just inspired me to want to do great things for other people, because there's so many people. Like, I realized how many people are out there doing really hard work like every day for other people, and it just blew my mind and it blew my heart open too. I spent time with a lot of friends this year, new and old. That was cool. I just feel like you can't spend enough time with friends, you know what I mean? It's just so nice. I got to go to Logic's Everybody documentary premiere of the Everybody documentary. It was really moving. I actually cried, as well as one of his LA shows where I worked up the courage to go over and talk to Laura Bailey, one of my favorite voice actors of my childhood. That was that was really hard for me to do. Like, I was in the same room as her, and I'd met her once before the previous year at a 4th of July party, but I just couldn't talk to her then. And so when I saw her this time, I was like, I need to go talk to her. Like, I need to say hi, you know? And I did, but it took me a good minute. Like, I'm talking at least like 30 minutes of being like, should I, maybe longer. So I was really proud of myself for that. I wrote poetry for the first time this year and put it on the internet for everyone to read. And then I stopped writing poetry. I don't know what that was. It was just like a little period of time where I was like, just poetry was like flowing out of me, and then I just stopped writing it. I met Christopher Paolini, which was awesome. He's the author of Aragon, The Inheritance Cycle. I love that series. I tried out floating in a float tank for the first time and loved it. That was cool. I highly recommend float tanks. I went to a cat cafe. Always wanted to do that. Oh, this is kind of personal, but I'll share it with you guys anyways. I got 2 psychic readings this year for the first time, just to get too hung up. I wrote all this down, so sorry if it sounds like I'm reading, because I am. I got 2 psychic readings this year for the first time, just to get too hung up on her words until I completely let them go, because you don't need psychics telling you who you are, who anyone else is to you, nor what your life will look like or won't look like. Don't allow anyone's words to dictate what you will or won't do in your future and right now, because just don't. Like, psychics are great for certain things, but some of them let their I don't know, I guess they let their egos kind of get in the way, and then just be careful, okay? If you ever get a psychic reading from like a real psychic, just remember that they're people too, and the way they interpret things has a personal flair to it, and you got to be careful. So just, if you ever do get a psychic reading ever in your entire life, just remember to kind of take in the words and then let them go, because you don't actually need it. And yeah, just don't let anyone tell you who you are. Just remember, you don't need psychics, okay? I went to E3 with Bondi to preview Dragon Ball FighterZ and met up with some awesome friends. That was cool. I think we only went for 1 day, but it was really fun nonetheless. Another thing is I went to Danielle Laporte's White Hot Truth book tour, which was awesome because I love Danielle Laporte. I went to Anime Expo, cosplayed again. I cosplayed Saint Tail again this year and got to hang out with friends there again. I went to CatCon. That was fun. That was cute. I got a cold twice this year. I'm actually still getting over the cold I just had. That's unusual for me. I usually get a cold like once a year, once every 2 years, so that's interesting. The new moon solar eclipse happened and I spent it at the beach with Dino. That was nice. I did a ton of Pokemon raids this year and made new friends through doing so. I still raid all the time. I stayed in a tiny house with Dino for our anniversary. That was cool. We got to stay in the woods in a tiny house. I danced in front of people for the first time ever at a Hafla night that my belly dancing teacher put on. I only danced for like a minute or two because it took me so long to muster up the courage just to say fuck it and like do it. But that was a big deal for me because I grew up basically like one of those people who's like, I don't dance, I don't dance, I don't go to parties, I don't dance. And so doing that was like a big deal. I started reading Oracle and Tarot cards this year, and they've been a really useful tool for me, so that's fun. It's something that I never really... I had tarot cards like as a kid or as a teenager, and then I didn't really know how to use them, so I just kind of... I either threw them away or gave them away. I don't really remember. But I picked them up again this year, and I got decks that I really liked, and I do readings for myself. That's been really, really fun and useful. I did a Facebook Live with one of my tribal members, which was, I was scared to do it, but I did it anyways. So facing your fears. I bought a brand new car for the first time ever. I always got used cars. In fact, my first car was my sister's car, and she got my parents' car. She bought my parents' car from them, and then I bought her car from her. And then the car after that was also a used car. So, and I just bought it outright. But this time, I bought a brand new car, which was something I've always wanted, but I never really believed that I would ever have, because I grew up in a family that never bought brand new cars. They just bought used cars from other people, like not from lots, you know what I mean? So I just never even thought that I would have one, but I really wanted one, and I did it. I did it. And the last one I will share with you guys is I did Vlogmas again this year. I feel really happy about all of this stuff that I did, and there's plenty of other stuff that I wrote down, like the best moments this year, and just moments that I'm either happy about or proud of, or are like unbelievable to me almost, and just really cool. So, but those are the ones I will share with you guys, and those are honestly like some of the main ones anyways. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you guys can reflect on your year and pick out the best moments for you as well. I think it's really useful to reflect on this stuff, because honestly, like a rush of gratitude came to me when I started writing this stuff down, because if I just reflected on it for just a few minutes, I wouldn't have remembered all of that stuff that happened to me this year, or all the stuff that I did this year that makes me feel really good, and really proud of myself, honestly. And it could be little things like dancing in front of people for the first time. Like, that's a big deal. And maybe you have some of those moments too that you just kind of took for granted or just forgot about, but they, if you acknowledge them, you'll realize how big of a deal it is for you personally. And, you know, feel good about the things that you've accomplished, and don't focus on the stuff that you didn't do. Just focus, especially for the end of the year. I mean, the year has gone, you know, like don't dwell on the stuff that you didn't do, and just instead look at all the stuff you did do, or that you learned, or any changes that you've gone through that have helped you to grow as a person, and become more of who you really are, and who, I don't know, maybe you've shed some stuff that, you know, that you aren't, you know what I mean? Maybe you've gotten closer to who you really are, even if it's through like challenges. So I totally encourage you guys to kind of reflect on everything that's gone on in your year, and just pick out the stuff that you're really grateful for, you know, that makes you happy or proud or just feels good. After you've done all of that, and seriously take some time to do this, maybe write it down. Definitely write it down, actually. Just brainstorm all the good stuff this year. And you'll realize how blessed you really are. At least that's how I felt. And I was surprised, honestly. I was pretty surprised how blessed I felt after writing all that stuff down, because it's just stuff that you forget, you know? After you've done all that, you can then reflect on your desires for next year. And I think when you're coming from a place of gratitude by reflecting on all the good stuff this past year, then you'll be more clear about what you actually want for next year. When we're in a place of like, this is what I should do, or this is what I shouldn't do, or I need to do more of this and that, and that's not what you actually want to do. But when you're coming from a place of gratitude and feeling like, wow, this is the stuff that I really enjoy, and this is the stuff that really brings me fulfillment and happiness and like courage and all of that, the stuff that feels good to you and authentic, then you'll be able to plan for more of that stuff for next year. Not the stuff that like other people think you should be doing, or the stuff that you think you should be doing. No, you'll be doing more of the stuff you actually love to do, or you'll be able to be more of the person you love to be. Bring the stuff from this year that you loved and then do more of that and expand upon that for the next year. With that being said, I'm going to turn the camera off because it's been very long. I hope you guys found this video to be insightful in some way, or enjoyable, if anything else. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 22.